Now on to chapter 34, the driving lesson. But you can't drive, protested Soot. The pair stood next to the battered Rolls-Royce in the garage. Not really, no, conceded Stella, but it's my only chance of escape. I can't stay here a moment longer, or she'll have me back on the rack until my arms and legs are ripped off. I know, my lady, but no buts. Look, if I can get up enough speed, I can smash through the gates and be at the nearest village in no time. Oh, it's too dangerous. The ghost was not convinced. The last thing he wanted was for his friend to kill herself trying to escape. I've seen my father drive this thing tons of times. How hard can it be? Stella was a very headstrong little girl, and she pulled open the door of the smashed-up family Rolls and jumps in. Use your mincers! Your feet don't even reach the pedals, observed the ghost. What on earth are mincers? Stella exclaimed. Mincers? Mince pies? Your eyes, of course. Soot shrugged. Stella shook her head despairingly, then looked down at her feet, which were dangling off the enormous black leather driving seat. What do you need these pedals for? She asked innocently. Oh, give me strength, he exclaimed. Only a girl would say that. Stella did not appreciate this comment. You are a chimney sweep. How are you an expert on driving? I bet you've never even been in a motor car, and certainly not a Rolls-Royce. This was true. Only very rich people owned motor cars at the time Soot was alive, and only incredibly rich people owned a Rolls-Royce. No, I ain't, but I know how they work. Oh, really? And how is that? Stella was losing patience with him now. I am a boy, he reasoned, and all boys know about these things. This infuriated Stella. As a girl, she knew for a fact that girls were infinitely better at everything than boys. Oh, do they? Her tone was deeply sarcastic. There was no way she was going to let Soot have all the fun of driving the car just because he was a stupid boy. Well then, if you think you know everything about driving cars, you can give me my first driving lesson. The ghost was not all convinced, but this was a good idea. But my lady, he protested. There isn't any time to discuss this anymore. Now, get in. Soot did what he was told and climbed into the Rolls-Royce. And could you work the pedals too for me, please? Ordered the girl, whatever they might be for. The ghost installed himself in the footwell, just under the girl's dangling feet. Right. So how much do you know? Asked Soot. Well, I know that I've got to hold this big round thing. The steering wheel. Yes, you're gonna get us both killed. With respect, Soot, you're already dead. Ah, I stand corrected, my lady, sighed Soot. First thing you need to do is turn the key in the ignition. The girl did so, and with Soot pressing down on the accelerator pedal, with his hand, the engine roared. It still goes, exclaimed Stella. I knew the old Rolls wouldn't let me down. Nah, you see that long thing to your left? Asked Soot. Stella rested a hand on it. Yes, that's the gear stick. Now, when I say move it forward to the left, while keeping one hand on the accelerator, Soot moved his other to the clutch pedal. Now, he shouted. The car started lurching forwards. Soot! What? We've got to open the garage doors! Hold tight, exclaimed Soot, and the ghost pushed down as hard as he could on the accelerator pedal and the engine roared. The Rolls-Royce sped ahead. Smash!
Wow. Uh-oh.
It burst through the garage doors. Shards of wood flew everywhere as the Rolls skidded out onto the icy drive. The cold winter air blasted through the broken windscreen, making the girl's eyes water. The old motor car had been very badly damaged by the crash. The front wheels were buckled and one of the back tyres had burst, so the car would be incredibly difficult to control, even for a racing driver. Nonetheless, they continued steadily along the drive, heading for the gates and freedom. As the engine growled, Soot charged. Change gear! Stella fumbled on the stick, and suddenly the car lurched to a halt and started travelling backwards towards the house at enormous speed. That's reverse! Yelled the ghost before stamping his hand on the brake, and the car spun around on the spot before juddering to the top to a stop. First gear again, up left. The girl carefully followed the instructions. Now second gear, sharp down left. And the Rolls was chugging along at a good pace. There was so much snow everywhere, it was very difficult to tell where the drive ended and the lawn began. She just managed to swerve around some trees and avoid a head-on collision with a huge snow owl. The one that Aunt Alberta had been building. Then the tall iron gates at the end of the drive were coming into view. The gates are getting closer, Stella called down excitedly. And just then they heard the deafening roar of a motorcycle engine. It was Aunt Alberta, racing towards them with Varga in the sidecar. Both Alberta and the owl were sporting matching leather flying helmets and goggles. "It's my aunt!" exclaimed Stella. "She's right behind us." Soot slammed his hand down on the accelerator. "Hold tight," said the ghost. "We have to go fast so we can get through those gates." Stella looked over her shoulder. "They're gaining on us," she said. "Straight to fourth gear then, down right," hollered Soot over the din of the engine. There was an almighty crunching, and as the girl yanked the stick and the gear shifted, safely now in fourth gear, the rolls was going faster and faster. The huge iron gates were seconds away. "Any moment now," shouted Stella, and she closed her eyes as the rolls ran the gates. Crash! They came to a halt. "Quaw, blimey!" "Yes, now we're in for it," said Stella with a gulp. "What will happen?" Find out later.